My plan was pursuing law first of all, and whole of my class 11th and 12th I prepared for CLAT. Sectionals, I think I have given more than 200. BSc in data science is much more tech oriented and AI resilient. And everybody is worried about AI, but that wouldn't be case with the curriculum that is being offered at Bangalore. So it shows how much Bangalore is thinking about its students. I am not sure right now that I want to do MBA. So from last 5 years, I was professionally playing roller hockey. In that, I went for playing international and national. When you are not prioritizing your time better, then you won't be able to pursue a lot of things.
Do you really think one should prioritize their ECAs over their academics? Hey folks, Saksham this side from AceIPM. In this episode of AceIT, we have Aryan with us, who cracked a lot. He cracked IIM Indore, Bangalore, SSCBS, and most of the colleges that he applied for. So in this video, let's just hear about his journey of preparing for these examinations. So without any further ado, over to you, Aryan. Could you please introduce yourself?
Thank you so much, Priya, for having me. I'm very delighted to be here. I am Aryan Gupta. I'm from Jammu. I was from science background, and in my class 10th and 12th, I scored 90% and 89% respectively. I took a drop last year. I prepared throughout my journey from ACE only, from the droppers batch, and I'm sitting in front of you today.
Perfect. So, given that you're a dropper, could you please help me understand when was it when you actually started preparing for IPMAT? Did you give IPMAT last year, or what was your plan like? Like, was IPMAT always your plan A?
No, my plan A was pursuing law first of all. In whole of my class 11th and 12th, I prepared for CLAT. I was able to convert GNLU, but afterwards my interest shifted towards management. Then I took a drop. I joined the ACES course, and I followed the ACE course rigorously throughout the last year.
Fair enough. So given that you prepared for almost a year for IPMAT, and you also gave, IIM Bangalore's exam, you excelled there as well. You gave IPMAT Indore, you excelled there as well. Could you help understand our audience, the differences between the two examinations? Since IIM Bangalore's exam is fairly new, it's only the first time it has happened. So can you help us understand what are the differences in terms of how do you prepare for both these examinations?
There is a lot of overlap in between both the exams, but majorly the difference that really changes the course structure for IIM Bangalore is you need to study a lot more class 10th, 11th and 12th, specifically NCERT of these classes. But that is not the case for Indore. In Indore, it is more focused upon the aptitude of a person. So in that way, it is very different.
Fair enough. And talking about your preparation, how did you prepare in this last 1 year? अगर हम तीनों sections को break down करते हैं, because आपने Bangalore भी दिया तो आपने LR भी पढ़ाई है. So what was your preparation like for quants? And then we'll come to verbal, and उसके बाद we'll come to logical reasoning. So can you help us understand that?
Basically for QA, I followed Swapnil Bhaiya's lecture, and I started giving sectionals very early on only. For QA, basically, I knew my strengths lied in DIS set. So I knew that is something that I could use to my advantage for clearing the cutoffs and increasing my score. So I focus a lot on DI specifically. I used to solve a lot of sets daily. For VA, the generic advice that is given to everyone is reading, but it is the only advice that works also. So I did a lot of reading. I basically watched a very small number of lectures for VA in terms of theory. But I focused more upon the applicative part of it. For LR also, I did not waste much time in theory, and rather I jumped to questions directly, because jumping to questions give you a lot more clarity towards the particular concept that you need to understand, rather than just learning about it.
All right, so you mentioned about giving a lot of sectionals for QA, and you also mentioned you practice a lot for VA. So effectively, how many sectionals or mocks did you give in total throughout this journey? And when do you think is the right time to start giving sectionals or start giving mocks? How far in your prep should you start with it?
For sectionals, I think I have given more than 200 sectionals for both VA and QA. Mocks, I think I have given less. For specifically Indore, I gave 15 to 20. It is less in number because I was a dropper. Still, I did not spend a lot of time upon the Indore mocks. but I still believe if you give less number of mocks, but you are able to analyze it better afterwards, it is much better than giving a lot of them and not analyzing them. And yeah, that's it.
Fair enough. So given that IIM Bangalore's exam happens in the month of December, at least that's how it was like this year. तो because एक एग्जाम आपका दिसंबर में हो रहा है, दूसरा एग्जाम आपका जाके हो रहा है मई में. Now although you were a dropper, so you did have that clarity कि ठीक है अगस्त से preparation, जुलाई से preparation चालू करा है, तो you had ample amount of time. But what do you think, like having that examination in the month of December, is that an advantage or a disadvantage to somebody who's preparing for all these examinations?
Yeah, totally. It has both pros and cons, I think. But for me specifically, it acted as a very large pro, just because of the fact that it gave me a lot of time after, because the interview process and everything for this, the IIM Bangalore's course was conducted very early on. So it gave me a lot of time to think about which college to choose. With respect to that, it was very much beneficial for me. But I can understand for an aspirant that would be starting late, it might not be good for him or her. So I think, but if a person thinks of this exam as an early on exam prior to Indore, not saying that Indore is superior to Bangalore, but still if somebody prepares for Bangalore from the very start, then he or she may be able to appear for Indore with much more potential.
Fair enough. Like I also feel the same way. My thoughts also resonate with you. See, although a lot of people think that it is a disadvantage कि आपका बैंगलोर का एग्जाम जल्दी हो रहा है, उसके लिए अलग से प्रिपरेशन करना है, उसका प्रिपरेशन बोर्ड से ओवरलैप हो रहा है, बहुत दिक्कतें हैं, बट आई स्ट्रांगली बिलीव ऐसा नहीं है. Having that examination in the month of December is always going to be a good thing for you, because अगर वो एग्जाम दिसंबर में नहीं होता तो आप जो दिसंबर में शायद 60-70% सिलेबस कवर कर लोगे, वो नंबर शायद 30-40% होता. Because you have that added pressure of that one examination is why you prepare more, you prepare early on and you give that exam. अगर एग्जाम अच्छा जाता है, you get an interview call, so that ways two things are clear. एक तो आपका पहला एग्जाम नहीं होने वाला है इंदौर विच यू आर गिविंग एज एन एंट्रेंस, तो आपका वो एंजाइटी थोड़ी कम हो जाती है. एंड साथ में अगर आपने शॉर्टलिस्ट क्लियर करी है, इंटरव्यू दिया है, तो इन दैट केस इंटरव्यू का भी आपको एक आइडिया लग जाता है. फिर इन सारी चीज़ों की दिक्कत इतनी नहीं होती है जब आप इंदौर का एग्जाम देते हो, बिकॉज यू आर ऑलरेडी अकस्टम टू दीज थिंग्स. ठीक है, अगर नहीं भी हुआ इंटरव्यू, आपने सिर्फ एग्जाम दिया, थोड़ी प्रिपरेशन के साथ दिया, एटलीस्ट यू विल हैव अ क्लैरिटी कि जितनी मैंने प्रिपरेशन करी थी क्या वो रेलेवेंट थी या नहीं, बिकॉज सेम ही सिलेबस आ रहा है मोर और लेस. अगर आपको लग रहा है कुछ चेंजेस करने से प्रिपरेशन में, सिलेबस में, इन टर्म्स ऑफ हाउ यू अप्रोच थिंग्स, वो सारी चीज़ें फिर आप बाद में अप्लाई कर सकते हो when your boards are over and the final 1.5 months of time is left for IPMAT Indore. So I also very much feel like that is the correct approach to take. Now talking about the fact that you converted IIM Bangalore, you converted SSCBS, and you also converted IIM Indore. Now hypothetically speaking, if I were at your place, I would have two factors of consideration between these three colleges, because all three of them are like top-notch colleges, and you can't really go wrong, irrespective of which one you choose. One factor of consideration would be कि मेरा risk appetite कितना है. अगर मेरा risk appetite कम है, I will choose IIM Indore because there is a safety net of MBA. अगर मेरा risk appetite ज़्यादा है, तो फिर मैं या तो IIM Bangalore जाऊँगा या SSCBS जाऊँगा, because top-notch colleges, but MBA वाला part नहीं है. Second factor that I will consider is my finances. अगर मेरे फाइनेंसेस स्ट्रॉन्ग है तो शायद मैं अगेन IIM इंदौर जाऊँ, क्योंकि फाइनेंसेस स्ट्रॉन्ग है और रिस्क एपेटाइट भी कम ही लेना, मतलब रिस्क कम ही लेना पड़ रहा है, तो शायद मैं इंदौर जाऊँगा. और अगर फाइनेंशियल्स इतने स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं है तो मैं सीधा SSCBS जाऊँगा. सो इन दैट केस बैंगलोर सॉर्ट ऑफ फॉल्स इन दैट ग्रे जोन दैट इवन दो इट इज़ द बेस्ट कॉलेज, बट जब भी मैं किसी बच्चे को रेकमेंड कर रहा होता हूँ, क्योंकि मैं दो पैरामीटर्स पे जज करता हूँ एक कॉलेज को, तो शायद मैं बच्चे को या तो SSCBS ज़्यादा रेकमेंड करता हूँ या IIM इंदौर ज़्यादा करता हूँ, डिपेंडिंग ऑन वेयर ही स्टैंड्स इन दोज टू पैरामीटर्स. What was your reason that you went out of the way and you chose IIM Bangalore, a college wherein you will be a part of the first batch? You don't have much background information how this program is like. So what made you choose this over the other two options, like supremely great options that you had?
Bhaiya, at an undergrad level, I feel among all these three degrees, BSc in data science is much more tech oriented and AI resilient. And everybody is worried about AI, but that wouldn't be case with the curriculum that is being offered at Bangalore. The second point is, I am not sure right now that I want to do MBA very early on, and I'm definitely sure that I don't want to do it without any prior work experience. So Indore was eliminated from that part. Talking about, it was difficult for me to choose between SSCBS and Bangalore because of the fee factor. But I realized that my aim is to pursue higher education later on after my bachelor's. So I think IIM Bangalore and its course would act as a better pipeline to get into abroad universities than SSCBS. SSCBS has a lot of brand value within India, but I don't think it has a lot. It is not seen as large by the outside universities. So because of that reason, I chose Bangalore over SSCBS, and also I think talking about the like first batch disadvantage, I think it has both advantages and disadvantages. And I think the first batch advantage, the first batch being in the first batch outweighs the pros than cons, because the batch quality is amazing. You When you talk to a person who has converted Bangalore, you can understand why this person has been selected by the Bangalore professors. There is a lot of difference in between the students who have cracked Indore and Bangalore. So yeah.
Fair enough. Point well taken. Of course, I majorly talk about two factors, but the third factor which Aryan mentioned, which was the degree, the course quality, the curriculum, the kind of subjects that you're being taught. Of course, in that sense, Bangalore turns out to be much superior than the other two options. And, very happy that you chose that college, and we'd get to know, more feedback about the college once the course starts. Also, I talked to some of the students from IIM Bangalore, which was selected. I think Bangalore for this year has some sort of a scholarship, scene wherein they are offering scholarship to certain students. Can you help us understand what is it about? Is there any grade criteria or what? Because see, irrespective of that college being super amazing, one factor which really holds students back from choosing it over other colleges is the fee part. So is there any relaxation on that? What is the scholarship scene like?
Yeah, there is a need-based scholarship that is given to the students. In their application form only, they had asked the students who wanted to apply for this, and many students had. Me myself also did. But afterwards, you have to go through all the interview process for getting the scholarship. I was not able to get that, but many deserving candidates got that. More than 15, I'm not correctly sure about the number, but more than 15 got 100% scholarship. So it is a great number, that too for the first batch. So it shows how much Bangalore is thinking about its students from the very start, and it will just go on like this in future also, I think.
I mean, that is super amazing to hear. At least a college, irrespective of it having a very high fee, at least if they are going out of the way offering scholarships, which frankly speaking, not a lot of IIMs offer at the IPM level. Some do, like if in case like they don't have a need-based scholarship, they have a merit-based scholarship basis of your scores in your first year. If you are like rank 1 or 2 or 3, you get certain percent of relaxation in your next year's fee. That is very much depending on how you performed within that college, and getting, you're already in a pool of very talented, very high IQ people. Getting in those ranks is very difficult. At least IIM Bangalore is going out of the way, making sure if fee was an issue for a lot of people, they are able to solve that successfully through the means of giving out scholarship. So very good initiative by IIM Bangalore. I think we all should appreciate that. Now moving onwards, to the interview part. So you did give a lot of interviews. I saw your profile for IIM Indore as well, because they asked you to do your SOP submission. Very amazing ECAs as well. So can you first of all talk about your ECAs? How were you able to manage them with your 11th and 12th? Because a lot of people, even though they have ECAs, they have done a lot of things. Because in 11th, 12th, थोड़ा सा focus उनका boards की तरफ ज़्यादा जाता है. उसकी वजह से, they sort of quit them at that point in time. So how were you able to manage that? And then we'll come to the interview preparation part. How did you prepare for the interviews and how did it go?
So from last 5 years, I was professionally playing roller hockey. In that, I went for playing international and national. It was very difficult to manage like the game along with the academics throughout my 10th, 11th and 12th. But it is something that you need to work upon like on your own self. You cannot, it cannot be taught to anybody. It is something that is built by consistency only. You need to prioritize your tasks in a better manner so that you are able to score good in academics also, and you are able to play the sports as well. Basically, I prioritize my tasks in a well-mannered way, and that is how I was able to do that. Even I was also I also scored in my class 12 boards low marks. Then I had to give improvement exams this year. So when you are not prioritizing your time better, then you won't be able to pursue
But
a lot of things.
do you really think one should prioritize their ECAs over their academics, and will that have any advantage when they are sitting for these interviews?
It is a very person specific thing. For me, my ECAs were the only thing that made me different from all the other candidates. I was shortlisted, and I was able to crack all these interviews because of my profile only. It was something that I knew that would be highlighted in every interview. So I also made sure that it is talked in my interview a lot. And both my Indore and Bangalore's interview, I was not asked zero. I was asked zero academics, and the whole conversation went around my sports and ECAs only. So it is worth it, but it is a decision that you need to take. I cannot tell you if that will work for you. You have to think about it on your own self.
Fair enough. Like, I'll give my piece of advice to anybody who's worried about ECAs. Not having ECAs is not a problem, but having ECAs is definitely a plus. But you need to understand one thing. He was into his sport for 5 years, 5 long years. आप कोई भी ऐसे अचानक से 11th में आके 12th में आके आपने सोचना है कि ये एग्जाम्स देने हैं, इनमें इंटरव्यू होगा, उसमें ECAs की कुछ वेटेज होती है, थोड़ा सा हेल्प करता है, उसके चक्कर में आप 11th 12th में आप कुछ भी चालू करोगे, you will not be able to reach a level wherein it is actually, you know, very well respected. So in that case, if in case you're already doing something, just continue doing that, making sure that it is also not hampering your academics a lot. But अगर आप कुछ अभी नया चालू करने के सोच रहे हो, I don't think now is the time. There are definitely people who have scored really well in their IPMAT, had 0 ECAs and still got selected. Vamshi, All India rank 4 of 2023 or 22, if I'm not wrong, our student mentioned not applicable in the section of ECS. And he still got AIR 4 because he scored well. He was a very humble candidate. He gave a good interview. So that worked out in his favor. So similarly, if in case you have something, अच्छी बात है, नहीं भी है तो डरने की बात नहीं है. At least invest that time in making sure कि आपका interview, like exam आप बहुत अच्छे से दे रहे हो, उसमें अच्छा score आ रहा है. It then more or less, you know, compensates for having no ECAs as well. Now coming on to your interviews, what was your interview like for both Bangalore and Indore?
The Bangalore interview was totally conversational. They were asking back and forth questions. It started with my SOP only, and it revolved around my ECS later on. Then I was asked some basic 1 to 2 ACAD questions related to mathematics, more specifically probability. But it went very good in my opinion. That is why I was able to convert it. Basically, it was very conversational. And for Indore, historically, it is seen that they tend to ask a lot of academics. That was not the case with me. But this is a very, like, I believe that this has not happened with anyone throughout this interview season for Indore. So you need to focus on the things that you think would stand out. And for me, that was my ECS. So I prioritized them and I tried to highlight them as much as I could throughout all these interviews.
Fair enough. And one another thing that you did, I'm not sure if you did it for manifestation or for brownie points in your interview. Your email ID for, you know, your Indore's application was your name, IMI@gmail.com. Did you feel like that sort of worked out in your favor, or, you know, what was your reasoning behind doing that?
I think it did. It was both for manifestation and also for my own ease, because throughout these application processes, you are not able to understand from which college you have gotten what email. So for keeping it in a proper manner, I did that. And also, of course, for manifestation, not only for Indore, I did it for Bangalore, Ranchi, Shillong. But Shillong and Ranchi, from Shillong I got rejected, and in Ranchi I'm waitlisted. So it does not always favor you, but if it gives you some motivation and believe in yourself, then I think you should do it.
Fair enough. But रांची में तो शायद आपने IIMI वाला email डाल दिया था ना?
शायद से.
I think they take it from your application of IIM Indore, so they get to know that. All right, given that you were our student for 1 long year in the droppers batch, could you please share your experience of preparing with AceIPM and your overall preparation journey as well?
My experience with ACE has been nothing but wonderful only. Majorly, I followed Swapnil Bhaiya's lectures for QA part. I also followed Hardik sir's English lectures for basically for VA. And I also use the mock portal of ACE a lot for sectionals and for mocks as well. And apart from that, throughout this journey, I want to thank some of the people who also supported me, who had a very large contribution in putting me in this position right now. My parents, my grandparents as well, some of my seniors of roller hockey, my teachers, and some of my friends. So I want to thank them also, because without them I wouldn't be in this position right now.
And that's lovely to hear. Also, wrapping up this interview, could you leave the future aspirants with one last tip that perhaps would change their trajectory of preparing and make them eligible to be sitting in the position that you're sitting in right now?
The only advice that comes to my mind is a mistake that I also did throughout my preparation journey, is that you should not try to accommodate a lot of resources and not doing even one. You should try to keep your resources as short and concise as possible, but doing it to a near perfect expertise, because you won't be able to solve all the questions of all the books. But if you just follow one book and complete it thoroughly, I think it would be a better strategy in cracking the exam. So that's it.
All right, thank you so much. It was lovely to be interviewing you. Also, guys, if in case you are also a dropper and you are planning to prepare for your examination in the year 2027, we've just started with our second phase of droppers batch. You can enroll. We have just started with arithmetic. You are not left with any portion of syllabus. We'll essentially cover everything for you at least twice before your IPMAT Indore's examination. So if in case you're interested, you can check out the droppers batch. Link is down in the description. And even if in case you are a 2027 fresher or a 28 aspirant, you can also check out our courses. That's about it. I'll see you in another one. Till then, stay safe, take care, all the best, and bye-bye. Thank you.
Ready to ace IPM? Get started by going on aceipm.com, and over there you'll see a free counseling button. You need to click on that and enter all your details so that one of your future seniors can get in touch with you and clarify all your queries about IPM and AceIPM. Thank you.